Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Sega Genesis is arguably one of the best games of the series, and maybe even the console itself, but it can be easy to forget about its little 8-bit cousins. Sonic made an appearance on the Sega Master System and the Game Gear in 1991, shortly after his Genesis debut, and apparently was even a little bit speedier in terms of releasing an 8-bit sequel. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was released for SMS in Europe and worldwide for Game Gear in the late part of 1992, just a few days before the release of the Genesis version. But luckily, instead of getting a slimmed-down port as you might expect, you actually get an all-new, unique adventure here. So this time around, you have to rescue your new buddy Tails from that pesky Robotnik. And as you could guess, he wants Chaos Emeralds in exchange. So because of that early release date, this was actually the official debut of Mr. Prower himself. Although he's basically just the princess you have to rescue, and he just appears in the level intros with you for no reason. Okay, well anyways, all this sounds great. It's a nice cute little 8-bit Sonic side quest, right? Think again. This game will chew you up, spit you out, stomp on your heart, light you on fire, and then throw you off of a cliff, with spikes at the bottom of it. At least in this version on the Game Gear. The gameplay is exactly what you'd expect from a classic Sonic title. You can jump and roll into a ball just like in the first Genesis game, bounce off of badniks, crash through walls, pick up rings, and of course, go really, really fast. There are a few differences from the 16-bit Sonic 2. There's no spin dash ability yet, and if you get hit while carrying rings, only a very small number of them can be recollected. So if you have 100 rings and get hit, you'll probably get really pissed. And you'll probably be getting hit quite a lot, as the visible area on your little handheld screen is extremely limited, and you'll constantly be jumping into oblivion with no real clue of where you can land, unless you spend hours memorizing all the levels. So 7 zones, 3 acts each. Man, that's a lot of double A's. Not to mention finding all the Chaos Emeralds is required to enter the final stage, and as they are hidden in specific areas instead of getting them via bonus rounds, all I have to say is, thank you, level select cheat code. So in that regard, this is definitely one of the most challenging and frustrating Sonic games ever, even for the more experienced blue blurs out there. Which is kind of a shame, since there's some potentially awesome gameplay to experience here. The addition of some new vehicles set this apart from the get-go, with the mine carts of the first world to hang gliding in the second one. And the level design is also pretty interesting, with some weird zones like Gimmick Mountain and the Scrambled Egg Zone, which haven't been seen in other Sonic games. So if you're morbidly curious about this Game Gear version, it's playable as part of Sonic Adventure DX on the GameCube and PC, or the Sonic Gems collection for GameCube and PS2. But I think you might want to check out the Sega Master System version instead, as it doesn't suffer from the small screen issues much. It's available on Wii's Virtual Console, so I definitely recommend that one over this battery drainer.